Starting lineup: Mordekaiser, Wukong, Irelia, Mel, Leona. Up against Olaf, Warwick, Yone, Vayne, Nautilus. Rating of the picks for a casual game. Mordekaiser as a top, 9. Wukong in the jungle, 10. Irelia in mid, 10. Mel as a shooter, 6. Leona in support, 10. Warwick in the jungle, 8. Yone as a mid, 7. Vayne in shooter, 7. Nautilus in support, 9. You're in this game. We're gonna have Jeff Hardy, the Mel player, going in ADC slot and finding out how long-term scaling works on a mage. We have this friendly Wukong player making the right choice and slowing down the game lots, not just with the natural armor but also the shadow clone. We have this Warwick player engaging a bunch and absorbing a ton of damage. Let's get to it. Opening play. What is unusual about this game is that there's a large presence of traditional supports. You have both Nautilus and Leona. This actually works as they are modeled after tanks, which do not require precise mechanics and are very forgiving in terms of standing in an AoE or misclicking. This Jeff Hardy opting for Mel in ADC slot, Mel and Vayne scale into endgame in a very different way, which is one of the primary factors determining the outcome of this game. It also makes the kill sniping skill set of Mel as a character more problematic than that of, for example, Twitch, because the power spike comes much earlier and is less reliable. This game a perfect showcase of Mel's space. You have this ongoing wrestling match in the top lane, mostly favoring Olaf. What's going on here is Olaf essentially being a tactical, flexible version of Warwick, and you see him routinely being underestimated, definitely considered a weirdo, and thus playing as the underdog. What is also happening here is the use of the protection summoner spell with the bubble on a 180-second cooldown. You see that flash on Mordekaiser being completely idle. Flash is one of the top 3 biggest mob justice factors in the League community. It is to be taken like a Chinese communist diktat. It's a rule that everybody is just supposed to follow because all the pros use Flash. However, the problem is the pros think in many different dimensions and the average amateur does not. A lot of the times the long cooldown on that flash summoner spell is not worth it when you don't have the brain power to maximize the flexibility, and in this case you're gonna get that flash mostly for nothing. Against Olaf's first spell, slowing axe throw, you're not even really going to be able to get away with flash. So it cannot even service you on that level. In the third play, you can really see this built-in scaling difference coming out more than anything. 9 minutes in, the early spike and Mel is on top. You're gonna have the constant handicap of this Nautilus player on Team Red being half asleep. This Jeff Hardy Mel player, a very sour grape, but 2 working minds on Team Blue, and you're gonna get much better coordinated effort. This Roxy Nautilus player made a very wise pick. If you're gonna play half asleep like this, Nautilus will be more forgiving than just about anybody. Probably in the top 3 tankiest, can become nearly unkillable. You see much more activity on this Leona player, very intelligent, back and forth, and more commitment. Again, picture perfect expose down the line of Jeff Hardy's foolish experiment and a real teachable moment when it comes to Twitch style, Caitlyn style, or Vayne style hypercarries. As despite the lack of skill and energy on Team Red, things will get turned around purely because of Vayne stats and growth. Prone to great armor, and with a ton of escape tricks, this Wukong is going to get in and get out. It's in the name Warrior Trickster. We have this Irelia dissecting the combatants. She comes down through the bushes, plunges in the middle. There's a good kind of ego, and then there's a bad kind of ego. Le voici. This Nautilus in a state of continuous confusion and so many blips and flashes going on the screen that he's just clicking at random and hoping that he hits something. We have these empowered siege minions stemming from the terminus of the Baron, which is a kind of niche that is very difficult to learn for newer players. The functionality of these minions allows for a different pace and a different playstyle, facilitating the end of the enemy base. We're gonna have this tit for tat with this Warwick player referencing the origin of all evil in the world of Lord of the Rings, Morgoth being the progenitor of Sauron. We're gonna have a demonstration by this Mordekaiser player back to back as to how the flash spell won't let you get away when I'm on you with that axe throw. A lot of squaring off in the top lane, and if I did it once, I did it twice. This Warwick at times playing with wild emotion and getting entirely gangbanged in the river, refusing to pull out preemptively or open his eyes. This Mordekaiser player going to go down 7 times and effectively just prepared to have an awful time and 0 personal score if it means that he can keep me busy, making him a full-time assignment. Even if the purchases you make on Vayne are only halfway decent, the investment is going to be funneled into your auto attacks, which are long-term reliable and a solid answer to the enemy obstructions or turrets. Meanwhile, every time this Mel player runs out of mana, all the contribution stops. The original design was for the mage to be the sprinter and the ADC to be the marathon runner. You're either unaware or you're questioning that, leading Jeff Hardy to have a rough time in this game. Despite playing with a lot of commitment, ultimately being the link that breaks first. We think about the synergy between these picks. We see Olaf, Warwick, Yone, Vayne, Nautilus. I would say a very high B. You have a good amount of natural armor in Olaf, Warwick, and Nautilus. You lack magic offensive capability, making it easy for the enemy team to make purchases that kill your damage. We regard this team blue. We see Mordekaiser, Wukong, Irelia, Mel, Leona. We would have to say an A. Mordekaiser is almost perfect, Wukong is perfect, Irelia is perfect, Leona is perfect, Mel is the clown mode here, and I would say that this personal fantasy of replacing ADCs with mages really did as much damage as it possibly could have here. This was a very unfortunate payoff for this Team Blue for what is essentially, especially in the casuals, a small sin. I have said repeatedly that when it comes to shooters, you do not per se need an ADC, this game being somewhat of an exhibit on what is a niche issue. Taking a look then at these individual players, we make an attempt to understand their behavior, how they acted, who they are as people. We regard this Warwick player going 7 and 5, going with Ruined King and Triforce, making a bit of an edit to the copy-paste internet build, though not in a superior manner. You concerned yourself with the jungle objectives, you took a lot of the heat off of other players, you never sat still. I would say a B. This is one of those examples of perhaps a younger person not entirely understanding how the KDA system works and that there are disadvantages to dying, especially financially, because this person was more concerned with showing toughness than with being smart. We're going to have this racist micro-penis Yone player.
I never want to be a boy again.
Big white cock inside of me.
Look how big your dick is compared to mine.
Oh my god, this is the biggest white cock I've ever seen. Oh my god, this is the biggest white cock I've ever seen.
We have this Vayne going 14 and 4, going Kraken, Rageblade, Berserker Greaves. I would say a very low A. We will take into account that ADC Marksman is harder to play than any other position in the casuals. We know that this Nautilus player struggled significantly with brain function. You didn't get toxic, you didn't get down about it. You prevented the situation from escalating. You put the team first. Vayne is very difficult to play. It's an excellent performance here. Worthy of an A. We have this Nautilus player going 0, 8, and 11. More on these item choices later. You made an excellent pick. Nautilus is almost indestructible. You seemed almost drunk, clicking kind of chaotically, but you never gave up. A B. We're gonna have this Sir Bounce-A-Lot Mordekaiser player in the top lane, going 1 and 7 with a 0.4 KDA, going with plated steel caps and torn mail, going with anti-AP items. There is not a single real AP user on Team Red, so I have no idea what you're protecting against magic for. I would say a B. You seem to somewhat bitterly take up the task of taking me out of the game in terms of activity, and that is precisely what you did. You never stopped attacking, you never stopped space tanking everything, and you kept me busy for 22 minutes. We have this Wukong player making an excellent pick, going 2 and 9, being the most honored player in this game. Going Triforce, which is an internet copy-paste. It doesn't work. I would say a B. You stayed active the entire time. You made an awesome attempt to keep up with things. we're gonna have this seemingly inclined to femdom Irelia player. Going 6 entry, going plated steel caps, ruined king, hullbreaker, seemingly building into guardian angel. It's interesting what the internet guides have made of Irelia. If there was ever a cooldown Andy, it would be Irelia. You can tell how good she is as a champion by the fact that just like Set, she survives all these atrocities, these unspeakably horrendous builds. Those are the best champions for the casuals. Like for example Garen. No matter what you give him, he keeps going. You made a solid attempt to control the mid lane. I think you could have pumped the mid lane turrets a little more. I don't know why you stopped. You kind of gave up. It's almost like you ran out of energy. AB. We got this Jeff Hardy. Kind of screwing Team Blue, if we're being honest. Though uncharacteristically with an innocent mistake. Going all out fanatically offensive, as you Zod. Going 10 and 9. You stayed active the entire time. You made a solid attempt to defend the bot lane. I would say a B. We have this Leona player. Going 2 and 4 with a 2.5 KDA. More on these item choices later. I would say a B. You made an excellent pick. You were all over the bot lane. You were a constructive player to be sure. Displaying a non-conservative usage of this flash spell, you got into a lot of the early game scraps. Brawling facilitated by the immense natural armor of Leona. I think it was very smart of this Leona player not to be too choosy when to pop their cooldowns. Just keeping everything circulating and fully using your ultimate in your spells. All in all, we'd have to say a 5-2 and 4 game with a 4.5 KDA. Going with Spirit's Visage in this one, building up a little bit of armor near the end in case I need to go down to the bots. A lot of this game is just taking advantage of the constant perception of Olaf being the underdog. You learn that the scaling on that Axtro spell is tremendous, and it just opens up a whole new chase down style, as well as debuffing and even kiting with the axes. It's exciting to see Olaf in this light. A lot of great things are on the way. I have a ton of time. You see me when you see me. Taking a look at the scoreboard here, we have this Leona, Frozen Heart, Heartsteel, Jack Show. Heartsteel and Frozen Heart work well here, but this Jack Show I found to be too expensive for what it is, under the regular type of circumstances that you're facing here. And in all likelihood, those 4 deaths are mostly from suffering the consequences of the financial barrier you submit yourself to when you're using something like Jack Show. We see this Nautilus, Warmog, Solari, and Sunfire. When we take a moment to look at Warmog, we see if you have 2000 bonus health and have not taken damage within 8 seconds, restore health per second. You see this item can really only work in tandem with Heartsteel. Warmog is a gadget of Heartsteel 99% of the time. The only exception being if you somehow racked up so much natural health like on Cho'Gath that you no longer need Heartsteel to get to the 2000. Moving on.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn.
To action! plunder.
Minions have spawned.
I'm going. The might of Lokfar approaches.
First blood. An enemy has been slain.
To action!
An enemy has been slain.
To battle! Urge to kill rising. Jump, jump!
An ally has been slain.
To plunder. Finally, some fun! I'm going.
An ally has been slain.
The might of Lokfar approaches. Urge
An
to
enemy
kill
has been slain.
rising.
An ally has been slain.
To action!
Killing spree.
I'm going.
Shut down.
The might of Lokfar approaches. To plunder. Destruction!
An enemy has been slain. Enemy killing spree.
Urge to kill
An
rise.
enemy has been slain.
The might of Lokvar approaches. Thunder!
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
I'm going. Urge to kill
An
rise.
enemy has been slain. Has been slain.
To action!
Shut down.
My axe is thirsty. To plunder.
Enemy killing spree.
I'm going.
Turret plating will soon fall. Enemy rampage.
The might of Lokvar approaches.
Slain an enemy. Enemy has been slain.
Action! Urge to kill rising. I'm going.
An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
Chop, chop! To plunder. The might of Lokfar approaches. To action!
The enemy is unstoppable.
Urge to kill rising. To plunder.
An enemy has been slain.
I'm going. The might of Lokfar approaches. Urge to kill rising. Faster to battle! Obliteration!
An enemy has been slain. Killing spree. Shut down. An ally has been slain.
My axe is thirsty.
Rampage. Has destroyed a turret.
Death by steel!
Rampage. Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed.
I'm going.
Shut down.
To action!
Killing spree.
I'm going.
An ally has been slain.
The might of Lockfar approaches.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Faster to battle!
Your team has destroyed a turret. Unstoppable. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Urge to kill rising.
Unstoppable.
Obliteration.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
To plunder.
Dominating. Double kill. Triple kill.
I'm going.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
The might of Lockfar approaches.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill. Legendary. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.